Hello, Springford. I'm Ashley Hudak here with Michaela DeFrancesco, talking about a new segment we like to call
Springford Snapshot. This segment will be highlighting students and faculty of our community who have unique talents that they often aren't recognized for.
And on that note, let's get started.
If you've ever been to a concert, you might only focus on the lead singer. However, the music would not be complete without the band. Caitlin Dawson had the chance to talk with Dina Pappas to find what goes on behind being a drummer and her true inspiration behind this passion.
So my experience playing, I started learning basic rudiments when I was about 8 years old because my dad is also a drummer. So he would teach me like the basic rudiments and things like that ever since, I was like really young. And then I started playing full drum kit when I was 13, 14, so about like 4 years. My dad is kind of the one who inspired me. Like I said, he was always had like classic rock music playing, and he was a drummer when he was younger. So I kind of saw him doing like just kind of like drumming like on like the table, like the steering wheel, and it really just kind of intrigued me. And then I kept asking him about it, and then I finally started playing full set. So I have been in 2 bands. Both within like the past year, and it definitely taught me how difficult it is to play live and with other people, whereas I was used to just putting on my headphones and playing by myself. So it was kind of cool to have that live experience, so I could get to feel more comfortable with having people watch me and just playing with other people too. So it was a team effort was kind of what I learned. I am most inspired by classic rock music from like the 60s and 70s, so like Led Zeppelin, The Who, Pink Floyd, and then I also like kind of like emo alternative stuff from like early to mid 2000s. So drumming has definitely made me a more responsible individual. So I'd have to like learn, let's say like 7 songs by a set time to play at a gig. So I would have to make like schedules for myself. So there would be deadlines that I'd have to follow through with. So it's definitely made me more responsible. And even just like taking care of my kit, I have to clean it and stuff. But then it's also helped me kind of find like my individuality. Not a lot of people play drums, and not a lot of those people are girls. So it's kind of cool to be like that drummer girl in the rock band kind of thing.
Playing the drums was definitely hard, so Dina definitely pulled it off. Anyway, on to our next talent. Have you ever dreamed of auditioning for American Idol or The Voice? A fellow Springford student, Sabrina Neff, sat with Mark Raffa to talk about her experiences within the music world.
I've always had a love for singing ever since I could speak when I was super little, and I used to perform shows for like my family members, and I would play on a little pretend piano, and I would get a microphone and put on little shows, and I just love singing so much. I've been doing it my whole life.
Me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have
So recently on my YouTube channel, I started filming covers, and I just bought new microphone and equipment. And so I've been filming covers, and my little sister helps me film the videos. And I think the best part about it is that when I choose my song, I always make sure to choose a song that means something to me, and I don't just pick any song. I make sure that what I'm singing has some kind of relevance and is important to me. And I think that just makes it even better, and I just feel more genuine because I can connect to the song, and it's just amazing. For the future, my goals for my YouTube channel is that I want to start releasing more covers, and I'm trying to get my videos to spread a lot more so more people see them and so they can get around on the internet. And I really just want to make people happy and have them listen to my music.
I climb every mountain and swim every ocean.
So being in this industry, it can be very heartbreaking when you don't get a role or you don't get the part or just something doesn't go your way, and it can be super discouraging and you might not think that you'll ever make it. But my advice is to never give up, because if I went back in time about 5 years ago, I would have thought that I would have never made it to where I am today. I would have thought that I would have never gotten a lead role in a musical. I would have never done any of the things that I've done. And I'm so happy that I stuck with it and just never gave up on it, because it's the most rewarding feeling ever when you finally get that yes.
She's gone, but she used to be mine.
We definitely appreciate Sabrina's talent, as she definitely has worked for everything that she's done, and it's incredibly impressive. Moving on to our next segment, Bernie Check recently had a chance to talk with band section leader Sydney Bannon about her dedication to trumpet and how her passion has influenced her over the years. Here's what she had to say.
My name is Sydney Bannon. I've done trumpet since 4th grade. I have been involved in marching band as a whole for 6 years, and I did high school marching band all 4 years of my high school career. Throughout my entire high school career, I've been involved in marching band. And then just freshman year alone, I did jazz band and then the 9th grade concert band. And then as I moved forward, I did the symphonic band, the orchestra pit, and then I also have done concert choir and women's choir. My life would be so incredibly different. Like, I wouldn't have the friends I would have today. I wouldn't be as social or outgoing as I am today. Like, band, it really just like puts you out there and it makes you work as a team like, so well, and individually it really helps you grow as a person. My biggest accomplishments would probably be one of them being my freshman year. It was the first time Spring Forward marching band had ever gone to Bands of America down in Delaware. And we showed up expecting just to go for the experience. And how it works is the top 10 bands with the highest scores get called back into finals. And there was 26, I think, other bands that were there, and we were called back out of those 26 bands to perform again because we had one of the highest scores. So that still has to be one of my best and most amazing accomplishments I've ever done. I hope to keep band in my life somehow throughout college and possibly the rest of my life, just because of how much it has an impact on my life. Band has really helped me deal with some like family issues, relationship issues, and it's really helped me put myself out there, and it really helped me like get a friend group, like a really solid friend group, and keep that solid friend group throughout high school. And it just really helped me like it helped me bring myself out of my like little shell that I had in freshman year. So it helped me blossom.
Playing an instrument definitely takes a lot of time out of a person's day to put that much dedication into this activity. Also, don't we love our cuddly and cozy house animals? But some people have other ideas of house animals. I had a chance to interview Brooke App and Anna Marchini, who own more than just your average house pets.
Hello, I'm Brooke App, and I've had farm animals since I was younger. My Nana grew up on a farm, and now we live with her, so now it's our farm.
I'm Anna Marchini, and I've had a farm when I was little. We had a little farmhouse with a barn and like chickens and bunnies and all that fun stuff.
Responsibility, I learned how to take care of them, and now I'm responsible for most of the things that I do. And for time management, I have to like know when to feed them and what time of the day, and I gotta take time out of my day to do that for them.
I've definitely learned a lot of trust from working with animals, especially horses, because when you're working with a horse, training a horse, doing anything with them, you want them to be able to trust you, so everything you do needs to be patient and calm.
I've named all of my animals. For example, I've named my alpaca Chewie because he looks like Chewbacca from Star Wars. And my 2 goats, I've named them just like random names. And one of them has blue eyes and the other one has brown eyes. So that's how I like tell them apart. And the sheep, I have like 14 sheep, and they are named by what color they are and characteristics.
I can tell the goats apart because the little one is brown, he's Bear. And the bigger one is Rocky, he's white. And when we had chickens, we would get all different kinds of chickens, and so that they would each have a name that you can like distinguish them from.
We put our farm animals together because we are best friends and we wanted them to have a play date together.
And my fences were falling down. And I put them up, and then like a couple years went by and they just like were falling, and I would like come home and there'd be like animals running around in my backyard or like over at my neighbor's house. It was like crazy. So we decided the one day I was at Brooks, I was like, can I bring the ghosts to your house? And she was like, yeah, sure. Like, they'll have other animals and everything there. So we took the car, put them in the car, and drove back to her house, and that's where it all started.
Well, while I think that having goats might be fun, I don't think I could ever take care of one. Moving on, are you interested in art? Connor Godfrey had the chance to sit down and interview with one of Springford's young aspiring artists, Felicia Falcone. Here's her interview.
My name is Felicia Falcone and I am an artist. Art has been like the one class that is always consistent. It always makes you happy. It's just like a decompressing time. It's so stress relieving, and all the art teachers that we have at our school are honestly like my parents. They're there for me at all times, and it can be a stressful course. You can get stuck in projects at times, but just I love everything about it, so it's probably the most important class to me. I was probably in first grade. It was definitely in elementary school. I just loved going to art class, and it was definitely like my getaway during the day, and that passion has definitely never stopped throughout my high school career. So both my parents are graphic designers, and my brother is actually at art school right now, studying animation and graphic design down in Georgia. So I guess I kind of followed in their footsteps. I mean, your parents do have a huge impact on your life. So I feel like the most apparent inspirations in my life are definitely my friends and teachers as well. Just they have such great spirits, and I want to convey that through my art by using bright colors and stuff like that. Just they really motivate me to like bring out like happiness and joy in other people because they make me happy every day. I think the most rewarding part, I mean, there's a lot, but definitely like seeing how people react to your projects definitely can just make you feel like successful if they like it. Even if they don't like it and they have like critiques, it does make you better. Art is very time consuming, and it is very hard to find time just in high school. So I feel like that's like a huge challenge, especially being an athlete and having a job and everything like that. But I mean, it's a passion, so you just make time for it. Art has taken over my life in ways that I couldn't even imagine.
You can definitely see all the detail and how Felicia has progressed throughout her life. Also, isn't it fun to fly? A lot of people in their life have hobbies after school. Some play sports, some play instruments, but in Brendan Calvert's case, his hobby takes him to the heights that very few have been before, let alone for fun. Dean Costalis went to Chester County Airport to learn more.
Hi, my name is Brendan Calvert. I'm a student pilot. I'm here with the Civil Air Patrol, the United States Air Force Auxiliary. I've been a student pilot for about a year and a half now, and I'm doing check ride prep now to get ready to get my license. I got into flying because my family moved a lot when I was little. We were on planes going back from here in California. Any special requirements? No, not too much. You need to be able to speak English, and there's different age requirements depending on what level of pilot certificate you'd like to get. So I got into flying mostly just because at the airports I was really interested in that. And I just got hooked on it and wanted to pursue it. I want to do that as a career when I'm older as well. Compared to driving, it's not too much. It's completely different, I'd say. So you really can't compare the two being harder because when you're up in the sky, you don't really have to worry about stoplights, traffic as much. But when you're down on the ground, you don't have to worry about going up or down at all. And all you have to worry about is side to side, forward, backwards. Fast forward 10 years, I'd absolutely see myself still flying, and I'd like to continue that with the military and an airline job, and I'll most likely be going to college for aviation. All right, so this is the cockpit of the Cessna 172P. Up here we have our primary flight instruments. We got the attitude indicator, which shows us where we are, the heading indicator, altimeter, all the things that help us figure out where we are and where we're going during the flight. Over here, more on the right side, we have more of the radios and the avionics that show us, so this is the GPS, very similar to a car. It shows us where we are in relation to the different airspaces and things like that. Down here, we got our throttle lever here. We push that in to go faster, back to go slower, and our mixture, which controls the fuel to air ratio. Over here, control our wing flaps, which are over here on the side of the wings. Over here, this is a special radio because this is a civil aircraft. We can do search and rescues operations for downed aircraft, when we can help find them using this radio here, which is on COM3. Got a nice little clock over there, but it doesn't really work. So what's it like being up there? It's an experience really like no other. Just being able to look down. I mean, I've flown over the school, flown over my house, and it's just a completely different perspective being up there, and it's really cool. I'm Brendan Calvert. Fly with you next time.
Well, that's definitely a very interesting and fun hobby to have. Now, steering away from the standard learning path can be an intimidating choice for teenagers to make. Victor Jones had the chance to sit down with fellow